Welcome to India. Did you know that Australia's first wrestling champion was an Indian? The second one was an Indian too. Now you will not read about these people on Wikipedia. This is a video about 3 Indians who created wrestling history more than a century ago in the wild west of Australia. To know more, we will have to travel down under and rewind back to an Australia that existed 130 years ago. Towards the end of 1800s, large chunks of Western Australia were the last havens of the famous Australian gold rushes. The first gold rush down under in 1851 had led to large-scale immigration, and amongst the people who migrated were also hardened men from Greater Punjab and Afghanistan. However, there were 3 exceptional young men amongst these immigrants. Little is known of their lineage, though it can be confirmed that 2 of them were from Punjab, while the third one was a Hindu. One thing is for sure, they were strong men and practiced the wrestling art of Kushti. This is their story that would set them on a collision course with each other and the world of professional wrestling.
Show you how I beat this ratchet Debbie with this hatchet. Show you how I beat this ratchet Debbie with this hatchet. Only do it to remove her from a plastic, and that's it. Smack earth, wind, fire, and flames. Out of these flames, go from pretty to the range. You get hit like a train.
Let's start with Masa Singh. He was the son of Chanda Singh Chahal and was born in 1872 in Amritsar. He is believed to have arrived in Fremantle, Western Australia in 1896 at age 25. Official records can help us speculate him to possibly be the first Sikh ever to immigrate to Australia. Throughout his hard life, he worked as a cartage contractor that used a wagon driven by camels. But he was also an athlete, a lifelong wrestler who competed in catch wrestling. For years he competed in professional wrestling bouts in Western Australia. Between 1901 and 1903, he was famous for his rivalry with Harry Pearce, who was the champion wrestler and club swinger of Australia. Between them, they had 3 encounters. The first ended in a draw after 20 minutes. The second bout was won by Masa Singh. During the third encounter, Harry Pearce got his revenge. Since Masa Singh only wrestled in Western Australia, his fame did not spread across the continent. While on the other hand, his Sikh contemporary, Button Singh, gained infamy as a brown-skinned wrestler, plying his craft under the promotional banner of the legendary Worth Brothers Limited Circus. Unlike Masa Singh, Button Singh made a living for himself as a professional wrestler and performing strongmen for the famous Worth Circus. He used to issue open challenges either to the members of the audience or professional wrestlers across Australia to try and beat him in the ring. And most of his opponents, they were white. This instigated the crowds who visited Worth Circus in huge numbers. In spite of being branded as the bad guy, Button Singh won each and every challenge through the latter parts of 1890s and the 1900s. This was until he met Ganga Brahm. Ganga Brahm was the only Hindu wrestler amongst the 3 Indian wrestling legends down under. There aren't many records confirming his background and lineage or how he actually ended up in Australia. It can be confirmed that he was active on cards being put up by the Democratic Club in Melbourne as early as 1900. There is an urban legend which narrates how Ganga Brahm accepted Button Singh's challenge and beat him in the matchup. On 2nd May 1903, Ganga Brahm would meet Button Singh again for the inaugural title of Australian Championship. This time, Button Singh would defeat Ganga Brahm to become Australia's first wrestling champion. Incredibly, Button Singh would also meet Masa Singh himself for the first title defense on 19 December 1903. Button Singh defeated Masa Singh to retain his title. A week later, however, in another incredible collision course set between all 3 legends, Button Singh would defend his title against the one and only Ganga Brahm. This time, Ganga Brahm got his revenge. Ganga Brahm became the wrestling champion of Australia. The second wrestling champion of Australia was an Indian too. In a superhuman feat, Ganga Brahm would defend his title just 3 days after winning it against Jack Perryman. Ganga Brahm won that bout as well as defended his new title successfully. The collision course finally came to a full circle when Ganga Brahm would lose to Masa Singh again in February of 1904. After this period, Ganga Brahm and Masa Singh disappeared from the wrestling scene. But Button Singh carried on strong for another decade. He would win the Australian Championship again during this period. When we look at the rich lineup of freestyle wrestlers doing us proud on the international stage, we should not be surprised. India has always produced wrestling stalwarts thanks to its rich Kushti tradition in India and around the world. Spread these legends. We should be proud. This is India. Thanks for watching.
Only do it to remove her from a plastic, and that's it.